Hi, our fellow YouTube watching American patriots. We are back once again. We are true conservative Asian voice in America. In this video presentation, I would like to tell you about, actually I want to convey a information that we received from our humans who are planted in China and in North Korea, somewhere in North Korea, and working for us to harvest some secret information from North Korea and China. We actually received this information, secret information, from our informants, our humans, about 3 weeks ago, and we conveyed the information to about 50 members of the U.S. Congress, congressmen, senators actually, but we haven't received any response, any personal response back from them. So I would like to present what happened about 3 weeks ago. That was the beginning of March. Actually, we received this information from our humans back in the end of February. Not early March, but end of February, before President Trump was to attend the Hanoi summit in Vietnam on February 27th and 28th. It was before. And we try to disseminate this information to the U.S. Congress members, senators, to have them stop President Trump from going to the Hanoi summit, to cancel the summit. But there was no response from any of the U.S. senators. So now, as an aftermatter, I would like to share this information with all of you, my fellow American patriots. What happened was, the information is about the information that we received informs us that sometime late last year, let me just read this information we received. Kim Jong Un ordered his chief of Labor Camp Security Enforcement Bureau. He ordered him to have multiple companies of his bureau, multiple companies of his labor camp. North Koreans, labor camp means North Koreans politically correct PC word for prison or death camp. Security guards and labor enforcement guards to urinate repeatedly over 55 sets of unearthed remains of possibly the fallen U.S. soldiers who fought and sacrificed their lives in Korean War back in 1950, and to intentionally let the urine-drenched sets of the possible remains to rot and self-deteriorate in scorching hot summer days, with an intent to make it difficult, if not all impossible, for the U.S. Defense Department laboratory DNA analysis experts to perform forensic DNA analyses using mitochondrial DNA profiling techniques to establish individual identifications of the unearthed remains prior to fitting them into those small caskets, which were later repatriated to the Joint Base Pearl Harbor-Hickam in Hawaii. Our secret intelligence field operatives we have working in North Korea carried out a top-secret covert operation to obtain a number of photos of the guards standing in semicircular lines and urinating indiscriminately over the unearthed remains of our U.S. soldiers who died in the Korean War. We just have not yet been successful in smuggling the pictures out of North Korea and have them delivered into our hands in the United States. However, there are highly rumored speculations floating around in the community of 32,000 North Korean defectors currently living in South Korea that raw digital versions of the photos have been successfully smuggled out from North Korea and obtained by several of the community members. I'm talking about the community of the 32,000 North Korean defectors who are living in South Korea right now. But our team, true conservative Asian voice of America, has not been able to neither verify such intelligence data transferring activities, nor to meet any of the possible recipients of the photos face to face yet. This is very serious. Very, very top secret information we received. As you heard while I was just reading, Kim Jong Un ordered his political death labor camp, an example of which is Yeo-Duk political camp. He ordered the chief of the camp guards, to order several companies of the guards and the soldiers to stand in semicircular pattern formation and repeatedly and indiscriminately urinate over 55 sets of unearthed remains, possible remains of U.S. soldiers who fought and died in Korean War back in 1950. Before those remains in caskets were repatriated to the United States in Pearl Harbor-Hickam Joint Base. How would you feel if your relative, your father or your grandfather fought in Korean War and his or her body was found unearthed, and then North Korean camp guards, they were urinating over the unearthed remains before they were repatriated back to the United States. This information tells us how much the North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un think of us, Americans, as a bunch of fools. We are a bunch of fools to him. And would you do that? Would you do that to your ancestors' remains? Would you go to your ancestors' graveyard, grave and urinate over their grave. This is what Kim Jong Un ordered the chief of his political labor camp, where he imprisons about 330,000, well over 330,000 political prisoners. This is just so inhumane. He has no respect for America. He thinks he's a big deal. He thinks North Korea can overpower the United States. This guy is a monster. Kim Jong Un of North Korea is a monster. This is why we, true conservative Asian Voice in America, our team members were trying to get this information related to the senators, U.S. senators, about 50 of them, I remember. We tried to convey the information over to them, but there was no response from any of them. But now we are telling you, my fellow American patriots, this is what North Korean Kim Jong Un did to the remains of our U.S. soldiers, U.S. military troops, who fought and fell during the Korean War. I remember watching the repatriation ceremony at the Joint Base Pearl Harbor-Hickam in Hawaii. It was a very solemn ceremony. But think about Kim Jong Un watching that repatriation ceremony in North Korea. I bet he was laughing his belly button off. He was laughing so hard, so much, so hard, because he thought he fooled so many Americans, so many of us. But we'll remember what he did to the remains of those 55 remains of our fallen soldiers. The payback day is coming for Kim Jong Un. We cannot forgive him for what he has done to those 55 sets of remains of our fallen soldiers. We need to either bomb the North Korea with the biggest bomb that can break through the underground bunker where he's hiding, or we got to send SEAL Team 6 to find him and just get rid of him, assassinate him at once, just like we did it with the Osama bin Laden. This guy is a monster. We got to get rid of him before he kills any more people. Remember, he killed his own uncle, his aunt, who was a younger sister of his dad, Kim Jong-il. He assassinated Jang Sung-taek. That was the name of his uncle. He killed him brutally with a machine gun after hanging him on the gallows, open public gallows for 7 days, and he killed him. He annihilated him with a machine gun. And then after that, he burned him with a torch gun. He burned him because he thought his uncle did not deserve to be buried in North Korean soil. And then he killed his stepbrother, his half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, and then he is right now, he's trying to locate and kill Kim Jong-nam's only son, who's hiding somewhere in the globe. He's trying so hard to locate him, find him, and kill him. And after the Hanoi summit was terminated fruitlessly for Kim Jong Un himself, even there's a rumor, well speculated rumor, that he's trying to kill Kim Yong-chol, who was his number 2 guy in his North Korean negotiating team. And I heard he's even thinking about assassinating his own sister, Kim Yo-jong, for doing a terrible job in persuading President Trump to lift up the sanctions imposed against North Korea. This guy's a monster. We got to get rid of him before he kills any more people brutally. He's a brutal murderer. He is a killer. So we need to get rid of him. I hope this message gets disseminated all the way to the U.S. senators and representatives. All of them. All of them need to hear this. And we need to be united in fighting, locating, and getting rid of Kim Jong Un from the surface of this globe. My fellow American patriots, we need to be together to get rid of, in getting rid of Kim Jong Un of North Korea, the monster, the monstrous killer in North Korea. We know he's not going to give up his nuclear ambition. The only way to get rid of nuclear artilleries from Korean Peninsula is to get rid of them. I pray that the action to kill him will get initiated very soon. Thank you for watching this video presentation. Thank you.